everybody, this is Kristen. Welcome back to Crochet Witch Tarot. And today, since I made a video, maybe, gosh, I don't know, a few weeks ago now, talking about the decks I like to go to when I am feeling overstimulated, I thought we would do the other end of that, of decks I like to go to when I am feeling understimulated, because that's been the fun journey as of late. So basically, we are in this odd period at the library where it's feeling like it's nice out, so, you know, to us it feels like summer, but summer break where I live has not quite started for the kids yet, so the library is a bit empty, which often leaves me very understimulated at work. So, it really got me thinking about what decks do I feel drawn to kind of play with, flip through, do readings with when I get home when I'm feeling really understimulated. And the kind of other end of that is also decks I go to if I am just feeling a little bit, for lack of better words, just bored with whatever I'm doing with my tarot practice. What is something that kind of makes my brain instantly excited and feels like almost shiny and new again whenever I pull it out? So, okay, enough explanation. Let's get into it. I have much looser categories this time. They more build off of each other, I would say. So, we're just gonna go for it. The first category, which most of them being in, is just decks where the colors, I don't know, they just tickle my brain in some sort of way. I just like it. First up, we've got the Rainbow Tarot. Now this one is just, feels like excitement in a deck. First of all, look at these backs. I feel like these alone, oh my gosh, they just do something to the excitement levels in my brain. Yes, I love them so much. And this is one that I feel like I haven't even done many readings with this deck, but I bring it out quite often just to flip through the cards. I think because it really is an RWS clone, which, yeah, I mean, obviously I enjoy those. I've got many of them, but they do have a very certain time and place for me to use. Because a lot of the times I'm doing those single card draws in the morning, I'm drawn to very certain types of decks, usually where there's like a guidebook for me to get into, things like that. Which is not this deck. This one's a bit more straightforward. But the colors make me so incredibly happy. The pattern I've noticed with the other decks, I guess not to spoil what's going on with the rest of this video, but this kind of flat artwork, I don't know, is just really just pleasing to me. I just really enjoy it in combination with these bright colors. And so I often find myself pulling this one out when I'm feeling bored, just feeling kind of blah in the brain because it's just understimulated. This one brings the joy right back up. I mean, look at these colors. Ooh, I'm not really zoomed in very much, am I? Let's get a better look here. Oh, it's so good. It's the kind of colors where it's like, first of all, I mean, come on. They're bright without being too insanely, like, in your face, I feel. I love this deck so much. I know it's gonna get, I think the thing also is I bought it in the middle of winter. It's gonna get more play in the summer. So, that is the Rainbow Tarot. Next up, the Desert Illuminations Tarot. I feel like you can even see with both of these from the box. It's the bright colors, but this one also just has interesting things going on in the cards. Look at these backs too. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Okay. This is one where I feel like the subject matter is also really, I mean, come on, so good for my brain when it's feeling understimulated, because I just instantly want to go somewhere wacky and weird, and this one does that. I mean, cowboys and aliens, the Wild West, yes, that is so exciting to me, because that is not obviously something in my usual realm, but I love it so much. I mean, how does that not excite you? And all the pinks and oranges, pink, orange, and green together, like in this card. Oh my gosh, just really, just tickles my little brain worms, you know? In the best way possible. Like, hello. Oh my gosh, look at that teal! Color is so exciting. You know what I mean? But again, we've got this like flatter kind of artwork. Wow, interesting discoveries we're having live on camera with me. Welcome to my journey of understimulation. Who would have thunk? Gosh, I love this deck. So that is the Desert Illuminations Tarot. Same kind of thing going on. It's the flat artwork, the bright colors. Yes, I think that's a theme throughout all of the decks in this category. So if I'm starting to get repetitive in what I'm saying, apologies. I just wanted to bring out these decks and have fun. Next up, Cute and Creepy Tarot. Oh my gosh, I love this deck. I love this deck so much. Okay, so here's... I wish I could put into words better, like, how this is making sense to me. I feel like the decks I pulled out for when I'm feeling overstimulated, that makes more sense in words. This doesn't, because I feel like with this, I was grabbing decks that just, oh my gosh, it causes this excitement in my brain, and this one does. I mean, oh my gosh, this card, look at that. The purple and the orange, it is making me so excited. And then there's this layer of these like folktale characters. Oh my gosh, story characters. It's so interesting and cool. I just love it. Like, look at the little weird tentacle family. Absolutely. Are you feeling understimulated? Come hang out with the weird tentacle family. That's where I'm gonna be. Oh my goodness. They keep telling me at work I should get one of those, hippity hops. Who else had those as a kid? It's basically a yoga ball with a handle and you hop around on it. And they keep saying that, and I feel like every time it gets said, it's less and less of a joke. And I feel like I should get one. You know, these are the decks. Okay, here's my category of deck. These are the 2 p.m. decks. 2 in the afternoon. You know, if you know, you know. Because that's the absolute witching hour, I swear. For an ADHD brain, it's just that. I don't know, it's like I experience this afternoon slump, but in the weirdest way, where it's I just get this weird energy. And I really do need some kind of hippity hop to just bounce around, get the energy out. Also, some self-regulation, you know? I should really just bring these works to go, oh my gosh, bring these decks to work to flip through when I'm feeling that way. But that is a Cute and Creepy Tarot. Absolutely love it. Oh my gosh. It's so good. It's so good. And next up, I've got the Whispering Spirits Tarot here, but I am using this to just mean any form of Joanna Nelson's artwork ever to be created in the whole world. Ever. Oh, let's zoom out. Maybe except for the Cosmic one. I don't have that one. I think it's cool. But for me, it's Joanna Nelson's use of color yet again. And also, it's like this kind of more flat art style with the colors, but oh my gosh, look at that pink. It just makes me so happy in this way I wish I could explain better. I didn't really think about that before starting to film this, that man, I don't know how to put this into words, that it just excites. How I describe it is that it just excites my tiny little brainworms that are running the show up in my head. They love color sometimes, most of the time. And so if they're feeling a little like, oh my gosh, everything around us is so boring right now, like, eek. Using a deck like this or just flipping through it brings them right back to life. Yes, this is the meaning of life. The colors in these cards. This is why we keep going. Oh my gosh. Anyway, like, look at what are these little blobs with the red pants? I don't know. All I know is I want strawberries and little red pants too. Gosh, a little tree growing out of his head. Oh my goodness. That's so good. It's so good. The colors, I tell you, in Joanna Nelson's work, it's just the best. Okay, so that is the Whispering Spirits Tarot. Let's mosey on over to the next category, which is, again, we're building on to the last one, so we're still considering color here. That's the big theme, big overarching theme, colors. But this one we're also involving, not to say that I don't like the artwork of these ones, but there's a heavy consideration of just how beautiful I feel this artwork is. I'm missing a deck, and that's that on that. Hold on. Hold the phone. Okay. Got it. First up, we've got the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. This is the pocket edition. Now we're probably gonna have to zoom back in. Yup. Okay. Nope, that's out. I'm never gonna remember which is which. Oh my goodness. There is something about this artwork that just, I don't know, it tickles my brain. Really tickles my brain in a certain way. You know what, this probably could have been in the next category too, because there's also, like, the cardstock this is on is so good. It's so good, and I think that adds to the experience. It's like this artwork on that matte cardstock, but beyond that, it's like the use of color by Raven Phelan. Is how you say that? I don't really know. Yes, I love all the bright colors. Each card is so interesting. Like, it's one of those decks where it's, I just want to stare at the artwork on every single card. I love how elemental it is, so we get all sorts of different colors, except on that card. Although, no, because black and white are not colors, they are shades. The more you know. Unless I'm wrong, then don't listen to me. I don't know. Can you tell that my day was a little understimulating today? So that's why we're here. Look at that though. I'm hoping this makes sense to you all. Let me know if you can relate, or if there are decks that, like, if you understand what I mean. If there's decks that just tickle your little brain. Like, look at this, come on. I feel the exact same about the oracles put out by Raven Phelan too. Oh my gosh. I could look at that orange forever. Forever and ever. I love this card. Again, orange. Love it. And the greens. It's so good. It's so good. So that is the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. Now, oh my gosh, as I'm going, I'm like rearranging categories here. Let's focus. Okay, I know what I want to do. I've got it together. On some planet. Alright, next I've got the, oh boy. It is the Fairy Temple Oracle. And this actually, I feel like, similar to Dreams of Gaia. Nailed that time, the zoom out. But there is, it's the, you know what it is? Blue Angel cardstock. That also just makes my brain so happy. So happy. I love it. Because this kind of matte cardstock they use, the way that colors in this artwork just pop on it is so amazing. And I feel like this has a similar feel to that Dreams of Gaia, where it's like the artwork feels like it's actually shining. Like, look at the shine in the eyes here. It's like palpable, you know? No, that's not the right word. Tangible. Tangible. Oh my gosh, I feel like that's part of the reason I love this deck so much, because I feel like you all are probably tired of seeing this from me because I show it so constantly because it's such a favorite, but oh, this is a big part of it because the artwork just, I love it so much. It makes me excited. It's so good. And the Blue Angel cardstock, and we're going to talk about the backs because something about this tickles my brainworms too. They love it. They love it. And I love how the border colors change between all these pretty pastels. I just really like this. I really like this one. So that is the Fairy Temple Oracle. Oh my goodness. Okay, dropping cards. Side note, but I also really like the bag I got for this. Maybe I'll link it below. I hope I will. Because now I'm not remembering the shop I got it from. But it's a really nice bag. Okay. So, last one in this category, Universal Dragon Oracle. This is another Blue Angel, so clearly there's a theme going on here. But this also, the artwork in this just is really satisfying to me. And then it's paired with the Blue Angel cardstock. It just makes it shine in this interesting way. But I really love how the dragons are drawn in this deck with just so much color and the elements in mind. I think that is super cool, and so it's something really interesting for me to look through when I do, because I'm paying attention to those elements and how the elements compare to the keywords and things like that. And it just sort of gets my brain thinking, and that is definitely something that is important. When I'm feeling understimulated, it's like I need to look at bright colors that kind of just excite certain parts of my brain, and then I need to get thinking on something. Like, once that's making me feel excited, it's like, okay, let's take it a step further, which this deck does, that gets me really thinking on something. Same thing with the Dreams of Gaia, where it's just like, what's going on here? What's going on in this picture? It's so good. I really, really love this deck and all the colors in it. My goodness. So that is the Universal Dragon Oracle. Okay. Now, the next three. We've got three more. Kind of don't really fit into categories. Two of them do. This one doesn't. I don't know. I guess kind of the artwork one. Anyway, it's the Dark Mansion Tarot. This is one I really don't read with often, but I keep around because I just love flipping through it. And this one doesn't necessarily have like a super interesting use of color. I do love the artwork. My next category, spoiler alert, is like tangible enjoyment. Oh, weird way to say that. Oh my goodness, Krista, just say cardstock. What? You like the cardstock? Oh my gosh, what? Anyway, This one's not fun to shuffle. It's actually very difficult to shuffle. I have a bent card for sure in here, but each of the cards just feels like its own little portrait, and there's so many details to look into. The way this artwork is done is just, it's an art style I really like, kind of that Tim Burton-esque feel. That it just really interests me. And so really that's what it comes down to as to why this is a deck I like to go to when I'm feeling understimulated to just look through. It's because I find it interesting, and it plays into other interests of mine, being like anything to do with the Victorian era. I have a fascination with borderline secondary special interest, so this really relates to that, and so it pulls in another interest that really just, I don't know, gets my brain going in a good way. So I really like this one. It is like nice tactilely, with that rose petal finish. Like, it feels really nice to flip through. It's just shuffling it is not super nice. But I love it nonetheless. Where's that bent card? Here's one. Oh my gosh, do I have more than one bent card? I know it's one of the knights. I think it's... Okay, so Ace of Swords is slightly bent. Like on the front. But I had one that I fully creased. I don't know. Oh, there it is. It's Knight of Wands. And I feel like it always comes up in readings, and I get paranoid because I'm like, well, it's probably because I bent it, so it kind of stands out. I don't know. It's a problem for another day. But that is the Dark Mansion Tarot. I do love, like, the backs. Very satisfying to me. I love those backs. Alright. Last two are really, really good for when I'm feeling understimulated because I love to shuffle them. I love to shuffle them. First one being the 5 Cent Tarot. Now, first and foremost, we're gonna talk about the color of these backs because that also really excites some part of my brain. I just love it. I think it's so good. But how do I explain this? It's like a linen finish, but like a plasticky linen almost. So it's a bit thicker, but it makes that amazing swishing noise, and it's still not, like, hear that? Oh my gosh. It's the best swishing noise ever. So it's just this perfect combination of all things that I like in one deck. And so I do really, although the artwork on each of these, it's interesting to look at. I don't really spend a lot of time on the artwork. This is the only deck I have reversals shuffled into. And what I really like is that there's keywords for the reverse and upright. And that's kind of why I do it. And this is a real straight shooter kind of reader for me. And so the other reason I do like pulling this out when I'm feeling understimulated is because when I am understimulated, that tends to be when I am not often really an impulsive person. But if I am going to do something impulsive that really maybe I shouldn't, I like doing a reading first with this deck, and it will tell it to me like it is, of like, don't do that. Like, you don't need to do that right now. Let's not. You are feeling understimulated, and that's why you want to, but you don't need to. And so I really like bringing it out for that reason, too. Because it's like, it doesn't leave room for interpretation. It's pretty much the only deck I have that does that, and I don't generally love that, but this really has such a time and place for me. And I love it. And it also has that Victorian era feel, which is so satisfying to me. Love that deck. And last but not least, hopefully this wasn't just an entire crazy show I just put on display, we have the Wild Whiskers Oracle by Faina Laura. This kind of, it ties it all together. This was a good one to end on because this is like a kind of, it's a matte, maybe slightly rose petal finish. It's a really soft cardstock. We'll do the shuffle. It came with this black edging. It's a nice thick deck, but still just flexible enough. Oh my gosh, so good. It's got that snap to it. So I love shuffling this deck, I really do. But, and it doesn't have like the bright colors, but there is something I really love about Faina Laura's artwork. I've got almost all of her decks now. There is one Lenormand I don't have. Otherwise, I have all of her decks because I am such a huge fan of her artwork. And it also, it kind of plays a little bit with that like flat, colorful artwork that I really enjoy. And so this, I feel like, ties all the random categories together just a bit. I also love animals, so it's nice that this is an animal deck because that's something I love working with. And it's just fun. It's a fun deck. I love the alliterations at the top with the animal names, that it's got keywords and a message all in one card. Oh, it's so good. I really love this one. So that's the Wild Whiskers Oracle by Faina Laura, and that is the last deck I have to show to you today. So, hopefully, again, this was enjoyable and not just one big crazy show. Maybe it was. That's okay too. It happens. But other than that, I will see you all again very soon.